Hey everyone, welcome back to our little data pack project, and boy have I been busy. But to really understand this next system that we're going to show off, well, I think we need to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane. Right, so here we are back on the first initial attempt at the project, if you will. And one of the first things I really made with this map were these item traps. So for instance, you take a frame and a glow frame, meaning a named item, either a specific item, a book, or a piece of paper, and you would be able to create floor traps. So if I walk on this, it gives me levitation, or jump, if you will. And this was the first sort of pseudo-magic system I wanted to add to the game, something that would actually give item frames a bit more of a use, as well as some items, because a lot of items, you know, are one-dimensional, if you will, and don't see a lot of diverse use. So to be able to actually have a reason to farm said things so that you can make these traps, I thought was a decent idea. And now we get the actual upgrade. So since I can actually work with a resource pack now, and I can come up with some special sprites, if you will, I've gone ahead and reimagined that entire system, keeping the same sort of ideas, because again, that is what I want to do. I want to remake a lot of the systems I built previously, just do them a little bit better and more refined. So we now have infused paper. So to start off, grab out your paper, grab out some glowing sacks, so you do have to farm both of these now. You can take yourself over to a grindstone on a lodestone. So you have to have a hard surface to actually grind these two items up. And there you go, we get some infused paper. So then, the next step is to, again, I want to keep the same idea, utilize a specific item. So for instance, we'll use glowstone dust with our infused paper, and we have to name it something specific. So we have to call it alert. So the reason I'm making a player name certain items to actually enchant them, if you will, is because, well, it costs levels. So this allows me to create a cost system without using a whole abundance of commands. So the player has to invest one level to actually create this infused paper that now says alert, and then can be crafted in our crucible. Which, yes, I have actually added the crucible back. Oh, almost missed it. Although slightly different. You do need to add walls, but the great thing is, since I can create block tags, you can use any single wall you want. Cool. So now that we have our Rune, inscribed Rune alert, we can go ahead and utilize our item frames again, which I have set up right here. Perfect. And the other neat thing is because I can retexture items, you can see right here, it says experience bottle. So you can actually get part of your experience back by destroying the rune. Now, for the actual effects, we're still utilizing both glow item frames and normal item frames with a slight tweak. So glow item frames are only influenced by the player. So for instance, that doesn't trigger it, but the normal item frame can be triggered by anything, any entity or any projectile. And then for the actual effect, well, alert just gives alert, or glowstone, glowing, right? So you could set this around your base, someone walks into it, and then you can see that they're coming your way, right? But it doesn't stop there, no. I have thought of many things that were wrong with the initial system. For one, obviously, how do you trick players into actually walking on these traps, right? Because I mean, this is pretty obvious. Not only does it have a floating text, but you can see the actual trap, yeah? So, I've gone ahead and added 3 different utilities. So, for instance, you can take out glowing sacks, go to your grindstone, and grind it onto your rune. And now we have a no-name rune. So, if you put this in an item frame, there is no displayed image except for a slight actual mark or exclamation mark, which I do like, because I do want there to be some level of an indicator. But that brings us to our other utilities. So we have some iron nails and membrane paste. So we take some iron nuggets or some phantom membranes, and you go over to, well, we'll start with the membrane. So the grindstone again. There we go. We get ourselves our membrane paste. Then iron nuggets, all you have to do is throw onto an ancient debris and turns into an iron nail. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So where's our... Did I remove it? No, there it is. We'll make a stack so I don't get rid of them. We can take our no-name rune that has no real indicator. We can then throw our membrane paste on top of it. And poof, the item frame disappears. But it doesn't stop there. So that is a little bit less noticeable, right? But you can take your iron nails now. You can throw it onto here. And it gets fixed in place, meaning that if you now put carpet or a block over the top of it, but make the carpet so the player can still trigger the trap, you can hide it completely while still triggering the actual rune effect. So normally if you put carpet over an item frame, the item frame pops off, but that's where the nails come into play. Now you can also undo these effects, because what good would a system be if if you lose place of your item frames and you can never find them again? You can actually use shears and a brush to disable the effects of your iron nails and your membrane paste. So for instance, membrane paste turns it invisible. All we have to do is drop a brush on it, and poof, it comes back. Same with the nails. Nail it down, then use the shears to remove the nails. You can hear the little tink sound, right? Ah, so much better now. Actually usable, if you will. So yeah, there's 20 some runes. I'm not going to show them all, but they do all have unique images, if you will. So you can actually understand what each trap is depending on the actual sprite. So for instance, you can sort of see this has an AL, or a symbol that looks like an AL, right? So this is alert. Now the one that I definitely have to show off, because it's always been my favorite and will continue to be my favorite, is, where's our little, there we are. So we change this to warp. Perfect. Grab ourselves out some ender eyes. We can go ahead and craft our warp rune. By far my favorite rune of all. So there you go. Looks like a WA, right? So backwards because it's AL, WA. Yeah, once you spot out that the letters, they're pretty noticeable. Otherwise, I thought they looked pretty cool as runes, right? So yeah, so warp. My favorite of all. Warp allows you to teleport between two different item frames, now with far better utility. So it deletes the one you go to, allowing you to travel back if you want, and it will always select the nearest first. Yeah. Oh, I love teleportation, or elevators if you will. So you can set these up on, say, chunk boundaries, and you can teleport all the way across if you want. So for instance, if we set one up on this platform over here, ta-da! Back we go. And since these other item frames are actually triggered by any entity or projectile or items, what you can actually do now is using normal item frames, you can create... Oh, there's a invisible item frame there. You can now create item transports. Is there one in there? Refused. There we go. So for instance, if we drop paper, ta-da, and then we put a rune back in, ta-da, back and forth. Now, if only there was a way to insert items straight into item frames, right? I'm sure you can do it with commands. I might look into it, but I'll probably leave it as is for now. Yes, I definitely think this is a very great upgrade to the rune system that I've come up with, and I've kept all the same ideas. I'm pretty sure I had 20 before, and now I have 20 again. So 20 different ones, and to tease it, because that's what I'm currently working on, you can upgrade them too. So for instance, if we drop a world fragment into our crucible with our rune, there we go. It becomes purple, a greater rune warp. It's have to do with the effects though, but I thought these look pretty neat. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. So you've got your normal runes, and then your greater runes, which will have a slightly different effect. What do you think? Let me know. Of course, the next one will be the technical side of this, how exactly I do the crafting, if you will, because, again, I've given this a lot of thought. I don't want to mess around with, like, creating fake UIs or different crafting instruments, or even the recipes. Recipes I was so disappointed with. So you can't do NBT on the outcome of recipes in Minecraft for whatever reason. You can do it in the searching, or the blueprint, if you will. So for instance, if we grab out a crafting table, you can craft with items that have NBT, but the outcome item can never be something that has NBT, which just is atrocious. Again, this goes back to the whole thing. There are so many systems that Mojang has put in and just not given anyone access to. Attributes, they don't utilize themselves. NBT is severely limited on the back end. So many great things that Minecraft could be if there was just a little bit more freedom. I mean, we're getting there with data packs. Also, I'm getting off topic, aren't I? What was I discussing? Alright, yes, the series layout. So yeah, so the next episode will be the technical side with drop crafting, because I do like drop crafting, over, again, creating any sort of blocks, multi-block structures, and then having the player drop or say use droppers to craft, I think is decent enough. And that way there is some level of automation available. Ooh. Anyway, runes. What do you think? Good upgrade to the initial system? If you don't know what the initial system was like, don't worry about it. This is an upgrade, trust me. So yeah,